Don't talk to me about marriage. Talk about Brawl Talk, especially when there are 3 brawlers in one Brawl Talk. That's exceptional. But when there are 3 brawlers, it means the explanations go much faster and you're going to understand a lot less. We'll go step by step. I'll explain the attacks, ultimates, HP, and all the new features because there are many. Honestly, this is one of the best Brawl Talks ever. I can't wait to hear what you think. Before we begin, remember to subscribe, like, and comment. Use code PERIADO for Brawl Pass, skins, or anything in Brawl Stars or other Supercell games. It really means a lot. I won't keep you waiting, let's get started. This Brawl Talk starts off with a lot going on. We can already see Damien. We already knew about this new Brawler. He's actually Draco's big brother. We have another Brawler called Star Nova. It's really strange to see this kind of Brawler. And another Brawler that's basically a kind of ball called Bolt. We also have other features. We knew the catalog was going to change, and it really has changed a lot. There's a kind of game mode with a goalkeeper and lots of other things. We'll begin with the new Brawler since that's what interests you most, including animations and more. We'll cover that quickly since it's not your main interest. Damien is the most metal brawler and loves making noise. In terms of lore, he's Draco's brother and the singer of the band with Lumi. Because yes, Draco, Lumi, and Damien form a metal band. For starters, from his HP, you can clearly see he's a tank. He has almost 11,500 HP, remember? He has a shield gear. And above all, when you see his movements, it's pretty impressive. Being a tank already means he doesn't attack from very far. You can see his range, which is slightly more than an El Costo. His attack only deals 1,400 damage, but watch out, every 3 hits trigger a completely different attack. You have the same range except that this attack, and you can see it with the famous red bar, will push you back and most importantly, set you on fire. It deals 2,400 damage, then explodes for 1,600 more. If brawlers are nearby, it's like a bomb. Be careful, this happens every 3 hits, plus there are flames. In short, it's extremely strong, so you have a not so great attack that only does 1400, but the other one, well, that's something else. The Brawler promises to be very strong, especially since he also has a lot of HP. Now, let's move on to his super because his super is something else too. The drawback of a tank is that if you're at a distance, well, the tank is useless. I think you've understood everything up to this point. But thanks to his super, you can jump and reach an opponent. And even better, if you don't jump directly onto the opponent, it won't deal any damage. However, it will create a sort of arena. That way, the Brawler won't be able to escape. If he doesn't attack the arena edges, they'll take 1,400 damage. That's not much, but it's annoying for throwers. Meanwhile, Damien can clean up. You can escape, but it takes time and you must hit the arena edge. That's all we know now, though there may be more. I'll test the Brawler early, so make sure to subscribe. Damien also gets his Hypercharge, which is a simple concept. Once you activate his Hypercharge and Super, the arena instantly ignites, causing you to take significant flame damage simultaneously. It's 800 damage. That's huge. Damien will be released on April 24th, so that's very soon. That's why we'll be testing him pretty quickly. We'll explain everything to you, tell you about the gadgets and the star powers, but that will be later. We're not done with the new Brawlers yet. There are still 2 more, and this time we're going to talk about Star Nova. Star Nova, you might be wondering, which trio does this Brawler belong to? She simply belongs to Star Toon Studios, which is the same trio as Kit. Kit finally has a teammate. Star Nova is quite unique. She has 7,400 health, but most importantly, she has 2 attacks. I'll draw a parallel with Kay's because it's kind of the same idea. For example, you can see her first attack. She shoots 2 small stars that each deal 1,080 damage. So, in her attack, there are 2 arrows, 2 projectiles. And you can also see her range. So far, it's pretty simple. However, the idea with Star Nova is that as soon as she uses her super, she can switch modes. So here, she uses her super. It's a big dash that only does 600 damage. But if you switch modes, it deals 2,000 damage. So it's more for close combat, which makes it very similar to Kaze. You'll also ask about the Brawler's rarity. If I don't tell you, it's because I don't have the info. Let's get back to Star Nova. She can change modes, has a sword strike like Kenji, and it also heals her. It will heal her for 600 while she deals 2,000 damage. You see the parallel with Kenji. Indeed, it's kind of the same thing, except that to change modes, you absolutely have to use a super. So, it works for both mid-range and close combat. However, she doesn't have much health, which is a problem. Still, the Brawler looks cool and very overpowered. It releases in May. Same, we don't have the dates, but it will probably come out at the end of May. That's it for Star Nova. Once again, we'll play her in early access, gadgets, star powers, etc. That's why make sure to subscribe, you know the drill. For the next Brawler, it's the most special Brawler. It's the Brawler that I think you won't understand until you see real gameplay. This new Brawler is called Bolt. And actually, he just looks like a soccer ball. And that's fitting because his attack is rolling. And that's where it gets complicated because besides rolling, there's not much else, but there are plenty of ways to roll. First of all, we can say that he opens a new trio in the Toy series. So in Toyland, Meeple has a trio, but he's all alone. And actually, Bolt would start a new trio. Careful, I did say would start. For now, we don't have any real confirmation. Basically, he's designed for combat, but he's always dreamed of being a race car, and that's why his movement is very basic. And you can see all his dotted lines, it looks really messy. But actually, the more he charges, the faster the Brawler goes. And to go fast, you just have to go straight, don't make any turns. That way, he'll pick up speed, and that's how he gets faster and faster. And the faster he goes, the more damage he'll do. You can see, he has 10,800 health. But if he rolls over a Brawler, it'll still do 3,440. But be careful, if he doesn't have any speed, he'll do 1,303, as you can see. And the more speed he has, the more damage he'll do. Like, for example, 1,800 here. You can even see a kind of trail. And that trail actually is just his ultimate, because his ultimate isn't a new mechanic. He just keeps rolling, but it's like a kind of booster, and that booster gives him more speed. And that's how you could say it kind of electrified the area. It's pretty complicated to understand, like I said, because he just keeps rolling. But what you need to remember is the faster he goes, the more damage he does. His ultimate lets him speed up. But be careful, if you make turns or hit walls, obviously your speed will slow down, and so Bolt will do less damage. On the other hand, at the end of this video, you can actually see a mechanic where he hits a wall, and that lets him jump over another wall. So, will that be later with a star power or a gadget? It's very likely. But for now, like I said, we don't really know much. That's why we'll try it out later. By the way, Bolt will be released in June, so that's quite a long time from now. In the end, we really do get one Brawler per month, so no real surprise there. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Blinks, the shop, the catalog. What's going on? First, let's pause for a moment. We're pausing here since we won't see this screen much in the video. Revealing an offer instantly earned us 10 blinks. Not a lot, I agree. The offer is on the right in Juju's shop. That's why we had that famous image announcing the Brawl talk. It wasn't to introduce a Brawler in Juju's trio. No, even though we might have thought so, it's simply to add something to the shop. It will be called the Oddities shop, and it's actually Juju's shop where you can buy skins. For example, a mythic skin with blinks. Back then, that wasn't possible. We'll also be able to buy resources like Chaos Star Drops. What's interesting is on the left, where we see other offers, probably seasonal items. For example, Christmas would have all the Christmas skins and similar items. Still, let's be cautious as we're not certain yet. For now, we don't know, but we'll test that tomorrow. Just below, we can see Star Nova. I imagine that's for the Star Nova Brawler event. So, we know there will be an event, but again, we don't know more than that. If we scroll down, we have the Oddities shop, so that's probably the shop for blinks, and below that, resources. So, I think that'll be for buying gold, power points, and especially gems. The shop is totally different now. It doesn't slide endlessly anymore. Instead, there are many categories. You'll have to click on the category to see what interests you. Now, I know you're going to ask me, Periado, when is the update? It's at the start of next week. Listen carefully to what I'm going to say. If there's a skin you absolutely want, buy it now as quickly as possible with your blinks. Why am I telling you this? Simply because now with blinks, you'll be able to buy resources. And that's where it gets interesting for you. Be careful, the catalog won't be available for blinks anymore. It won't disappear completely. You can still access it by clicking on a Brawler, then the skin you want. Note that these are gem skins. The catalog is no longer available in the shop. So, if you want a certain skin with blinks, get it now. If there's nothing, I really recommend keeping your blinks. And actually in Juju's section, so the Oddities shop, will have skins that you can buy with blinks, like for example this offer here. You can get 2 skins, 2 star drops, and some pins. Where it's going to be really cheap in terms of blinks. 50% off. You'll also have epic skins, like Carl Sultan and Kitboxer, plus a Mecha Box, Chaos Star Drop, and Mega Box. And honestly, yes, it's worth the price. Normally, one epic skin costs 5,000. There's still a good discount here. You'll get mythic and legendary skins, but the price wasn't shown, so it's hard to guess. You can buy resources with blinks, which is great, and there are plenty of discounts. Brawl Stars clearly tells us that everything will be generated randomly. We'll have offers that are personalized based on what we choose, and above all, you'll get discounts ranging from 0%, so I agree, that's not great. But sometimes you can get 30% off on a mythic skin, which is a bit better. But sometimes you'll also have legendary skins that you can buy. However, the price is something else. 22,000 blinks, but you get a legendary skin for free. And even better, sometimes you'll get a skin completely for free. And they can even be mythic skins, as we can see right here. How do you get blinks? There are a few small changes. You can still get them in star drops, in chaos star drops, boxes, etc. That doesn't change. Mega quests will reward you with blinks, like here. There are also star drops like this. Will those give us blinks? Almost certainly, since they mention them right there. But we don't have an explanation of how much it is, etc. But that's interesting to know. At the same time, in the free Brawl Pass, there will be more blinks to get. That's cool, honestly, it brings more rewards. And there are some pretty decent skins. At the end of this video, they tell us that basically, we'll still get the same number of skins that we could buy before. So honestly, there won't be any big changes. It's just that the shop will change a lot more, we'll have personalized offers, and we'll be able to get resources. That's a real positive side. Be aware, you can't buy 80 skins per season, which makes sense. So, don't be upset about this update. Let's move on to the skins. Before discussing skins, they mention changes to rarity. For example, they display a mythic skin, revealing both a new skin and its rarity. Mythic skins will now have elimination effects. so you'll see a small effect when you eliminate someone. Legendary skins will get similar effects. Except now, legendary skins and all legendary skins will have elimination effects, but also spawn effects. And that's the new twist. That's how we'll spot the difference between a mythic skin and a legendary skin. It's the spawn effect. And be careful, this doesn't apply to skins that have already been released. It will apply to all the new skins. So, mythic skins, honestly, they're really good. Now, let's start with the first skin theme that's coming out. These are animated skins. It will be the Magical Star season. First, we'll have the first skin from the Brawl Pass, Magical Spike. Of course, there are also 2 Chroma skins that look like this. And the second one, Star Guardian Spike, is this one. Honestly, the skins are pretty funny. I like them. There will also be the villain side. So as usual, every season, there's the good side and the bad side. The bad side will be with Colette. Void Colette. So that's the other Brawl Pass skin. You know, now we have two themes. We'll have Frost Colette, that's one of the Chroma skins, and the other one will be Black Hole Colette. To get both skin families, you'll need to buy the Brawl Pass Plus. You know the drill. Use code Periado. We'll have more skins too. We'll have Juju Magical Star, which is a mythic skin, as we've seen. And above all, Grigri looks just amazing like that. We'll also have B Magical Star, an Intergalactic Ranger. Amber Magical Star. And here too, a Void Amber version. But they say they'll explain that to us later. We just know that Amber has 2 skin versions. And finally, we'll have one last skin, Finks Master of the Void and the Villain of the Story. This skin is just amazing, honestly. And with these skins, there will also be a new game mode and an event. We can see it's with a boss, etc. But they'll explain that to us again later. So we'll wait. We'll also have other skins. And now, listen carefully. This is extremely cool. This is a full season on its own. It's soccer themed and will be called Brawl Striker. First, we'll have the goalkeeper, and that will simply be Gene. So, with his 2 Chroma skins, 1 blue and 1 red, which look like this. So these are Brawl Pass skins once again. We'll also have a Carl skin. His Brawl Pass skins obviously have his 2 Chromas, this one and this one. The yellow one is really cool. And finally, we'll have other seasonal skins. We'll have Referee Meeple, which looks like this. I really like the effects. Lou will finally get a new skin, Lou Super Striker. It's been a long time. Surge Coach will also get one. Same, it's been a while. Otis gets Otis Foot Brawler, the team's last skin after an even longer wait. By the way, they tell us, you may have noticed, there are quite a few 3 stripes on all the skins. That's convenient because there's not a ton of brands with 3 stripes. There's a collaboration with Adidas. It's not a joke. Brawl Stars and Adidas are collaborating together to create the soccer skins. As you can imagine, all these skins will appear later because they tell us we'll have more info in June. And June is perfect timing because it's the World Cup. So, Adidas and Brawl Stars are collaborating together for the World Cup. To celebrate all of this, it's extremely cool. So that's our collaboration. Adidas, I don't think anyone could have imagined it. And since we're talking about collaborations, it's not over yet. And now, we have a huge collaboration because we have My Hero Academia. This is not a joke. Here we are finally with our Japanese anime. Well, some will say it's a manga. The truth is, it's both an anime and a manga. For those who don't know it, don't worry, the skins are really cool. For those who do, you'll be even happier. It's like the Stranger Things fans back in the day. First, we have the first skin. It's All Might, and he'll be on El Primo. Of course, I'll try out all the skins early. We'll make a huge tier list to test them, see their effects, and so on, so you'll see everything in detail, but that will be later, probably next week. We have the Tomura Shigaraki skin. This time, it will be on Gus. We'll have Uraviti actually on Janet, Dekufang, he's extremely cool, and we also have the main villain on Edgar Bakugo, who will look like this. Honestly, the skins fit the characters really well. I don't know what you think, but when you see this, I can't wait to see all the effects. Finally, we'll also have an esports skin. It will be for the Brawl Cup. They don't tell us exactly what it is and pretend to hesitate. I think it's for the Brawl Cup. Will it be free for everyone? Will we need to make predictions? We don't know. But here's what the skin will look like. In what's coming next, we're actually going to talk about the buffs. There's a lot to say. Usually the buffs, come out in groups of 6. Now the machines have been separated. There are only 3 brawlers per machine now. This will allow you to target a bit better which buffs you want on which brawler. Honestly, it's a good thing. It helps avoid that random aspect a bit. It'll be a bit easier for you. And that's especially why there aren't 6 brawlers getting buffs, but only 3 this time. Now, which trio? Wait, let's talk about the free buffs first. Now, the free buff won't be by machine anymore. It'll just be random. It'll still be free, but that's how it is. It won't be by machine anymore. So, maybe you can get a free buff, but it might be on the first brawlers that got buffs, not the latest ones. Anyway, that's what they're telling us. And it just so happens it's the trio with Edgar. Yeah, this is going to be something. At the same time, we could have predicted it. So we don't have Rico's buff. Now let's see what the buffs look like. You'll see, it's extremely overpowered. That's nothing new, I think you can expect that. First we have Griff's piggy bank, now it can be thrown. But that's not all because with the buff, you can actually control its explosion. That means if you shoot directly at the pig, it can explode instantly and you don't have to wait anymore. The second gadget is a rain of coins. Now, it's very simple. It's just going to rain coins. And with the buff, well, the coin rain gets bigger and bigger over time. For the star power, it's going to widen the attack and add another row of coins. And regarding the buff, there will be a mega coin in the center. So obviously, it's going to deal more damage. Be careful. It only adds the mega coin if you have full ammo. Otherwise, it won't. The other star power is extremely overpowered. When you use your super and the cards return, you will regain health over time. It's not too bad. As for the hypercharge, his attacks now pass through enemies. Here's the deal. This will hurt. The next buffed brawler is Colette. Now there's a gadget that lets you charm brawlers like Ollie's gadget, making them follow you like zombies. It's the same as before, but now it works through walls. The other gadget, Health Grab, can be used 3 times, and most importantly, it's targeted. So that means you'll have to aim with the gadget, and it simply steals health. Pretty basic, and with the buffs, you'll be able to overcharge. That means if you have all your health, it'll simply give you a shield. For the star powers, now it's starting to get a bit more overpowered. First, we have direct charge. As soon as the brawler is pushed, they won't be able to attack. It's impossible for them. With the buffs, it charges even faster. So, the speed is just increased. As for the other star power, same thing, it's really overpowered. Because without buffs, it greatly reduces damage. You can see it reduces a lot. You take almost no damage. And with the buffs, it will steal ammo if you pass over a brawler. Yeah, it's really overpowered. Big can't do anything, and the attacks are useless. Also, when you use his hypercharge, a little projectile follows right after you attack. This little projectile, as they tell us, will do 1000 damage, knowing that the main attack does 1050. So yeah, that's still huge. And if you use your ultimate, well, simply, there's Colette who follows you. That's the basic thing. But yeah, it's extremely strong, especially when it comes to the star powers. Finally, the last brawler with buffs is Edgar. Listen closely, there are still a few changes. By the way, his buff is really cool, honestly. I really like it. Now, his first gadget is a scarf you have to aim. You'll need to aim it, and it can latch onto a brawler or a wall. And if it hits its target, well, it'll jump over it. Of course, here, for example, I'm latching onto Ziggy. Since Ziggy is gonna move back, well, I won't jump over him, but on a wall, I can jump over the wall instantly, and that's cool. Basically, you'll just need to aim well and latch on. The second gadget is a shield that will make you immune to everything. So you'll have a shield, which means you won't take any damage. Well, it's the shield that will take the damage. And most importantly, if there's a Frank, it doesn't matter, it won't do anything. Be careful, this is only with the buffies. Hard landing is the first star power, and so it goes with the first gadget. As soon as you latch onto a brawler, you'll jump on them and deal damage. Basically, whenever Edgar is in the air and lands, he'll make a big boom and deal damage. So no matter what, you fly like that and deal damage. That's why the first gadget is really cool with this star power. In terms of damage, it does 3000 damage, which is huge. And most importantly, it pairs with the first gadget. It's really strong. The second star power isn't bad either. You know, it simply steals health. If it eliminates a brawler, it steals even more health, only with buffs. When you kill a brawler, you instantly heal for nearly 3000. I guess it depends on the brawler and their health, but it's huge. For the hypercharge with buffs, if you activate it, your attacks will go much farther. So that's why it only does 567, but you'll have a lot more range. It's actually useful. Now that we've seen all the buffs, yes, there are more. But we also have new game modes, and that's a bit more interesting. Listen carefully. Honestly, I think you might like this. The first game mode actually has crystals on a map. So be careful. No matter the game mode, it's really more of a modifier than a game mode. And it will turn us into a female brawler, but it will be Magical Star. So it's just for this season. That's why, for example, we see B here, but it can also be Spike. It's the only non-female brawler you can get. So the goal is just to pick up something to transform yourself. With that, there will also be an event. That's what we saw at the beginning and what they told us. Yes, we'll explain it to you right after. So, we'll have an event where it will be 5 versus 1, and you'll have to fight against a boss. It will be specifically against Finks and Colette. After overcoming the difficulties, you'll face a time trial to see how quickly you defeat the bosses. This happens during the Magic Star event in May. Now let's move to the second mode. This one is really cool. It's not really a modifier though. Actually, it's for the Adidas collaboration. We'll have a new game mode where there will be goalkeepers. That's where the famous lines we saw and explained a while ago come from. But only the real subscribers remember that. The game mode is called Super Ball. Actually, you can only eliminate one goalkeeper, but he isn't gone. He's just frozen. While he's frozen, you can freely shoot into the goal. This famous goalkeeper will do everything to block your shots and moves quickly. Honestly, it seems like a great and fun game mode. We'll introduce a new shooting mechanic exclusive to this mode. You can now charge the ball to shoot from farther away, and a fully charged ball will damage opponents. It can also be passed directly to a teammate, letting them react faster. Basically, it's like the ball is on fire. You can give it to your teammate, who keeps it on fire and shoots at the goal. It's much more team-oriented and really cool. To charge this special shot, you just need to hold on to the ball. The longer you keep the ball, the more it charges and the harder you'll shoot. During that time, they also told us that the ball and its effects have changed slightly, because back then, there were bugs where the ball would actually teleport. So the ball's behavior has changed. Now there will be fewer teleportation bugs. That's good, but the ball's behavior is a bit different now. If you don't play trophy matches regularly, you might not notice. Be careful, there's more. The Brawl talk isn't done yet. It's long, which is great. We also have Najia's hypercharge. Instead of throwing just 3 jars, now she's going to throw twice as many, and so twice as many snakes. Let's just say it's quickly going to become a snake invasion. That's not all. These snakes also follow you and leave a trail of poison. If the enemy steps in it, they'll lose HP from the poison. This hypercharge is extremely overpowered. There are also a few other features. Now, you'll be able to report people directly in trophy matches no matter the mode. Before, it was mainly for ranked. Now, on the regular ladder, you'll be able to report. So, no more trolling. If someone trolls, you report them. And if they get a certain number of reports, they'll receive a warning. They'll be banned from all team game modes for a little while. They'll only be able to play solo. So yeah, don't mess around in Brawl Stars. There's also a quality of life improvement in the game. As you can see, the Friends tab has changed. So this is the classic Friends tab. You'll be able to favorite your friends. As soon as they log in, you'll get a little message letting you know they've connected. At least you'll be notified. You'll also have a suggested tab to get more friends. Anyway, that's going to improve a lot. It's really cool. And most importantly, you can add notes. If you forget who someone is when you add them, you can add notes, like if they're a college friend. That's helpful. Also, the whole tab has changed. Now checking your games and everything else is different, which is cool. It's a good little change, and I don't think many people will talk about it. It's still not over. From May 15th to 17th, we have the Brawl Cup, and the reason I'm telling you about it is because we also have free rewards. So, you'll need to make your predictions on the website event.brawlstars.com, and you'll be able to get free cosmetics, a free hypercharge. In short, quite a few things. There are a lot of free things. Don't worry, I'll help you with the predictions, I'll help you with all of that. And it's not over, because Brawl Stars is adding new battle cards where you can get 100 and 200 prestiges. Previously, it stopped at 50, but now it's improved. At the end, they remind us, don't forget your free reward. Scan this QR code for a small gift. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot and found this clear. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'll try to answer them, or if not, I'll answer them in the next video. It'll be much easier. That way I can show you the features at the same time. See you next time, guys. See you tomorrow. Code Periado, and goodbye. That's it.